So I'm going to introduce Araceli one more time. Give it up for Araceli. She's been around talking to people. She's been a crucial part in organizing this conference here today. Araceli is a Dare to Struggle member and a Families Demanding Justice organizer from sunny Orange County, California. She's been a leader in the fight against police brutality in Orange County for the last 2 years, and in that time has become a lifelong friend to impacted family members and an essential part of the FDJ team. She's deeply respected by people in the fight against any form of injustice and is deeply hated by the Fullerton Police Department.
Hi everyone, so there is so much that we want to get done today with limited time. But before I go into this speech, I actually wanted to recognize 2 people who without them, this entire conference would not happen. So don't go too far, Quinn. So the first person I wanted to recognize was Quinn. Come on up. Against police brutality, then Quinn here. Quinn is the bulldog that made this conference happen. The second person that I wanted to recognize was our very own Lizzie. All of the families coming out to this conference today. It's the families that made this conference everything that it was, everything that it is, and everything that it will be. So shout out to Lizzie for making it. Alright, so that's on behalf of all of us at FDJ, at Families Demanding Justice. Thank you all again for making this conference happen. It really means a lot, and your hard, dedicated work does not go unnoticed, so just thank you so much. Another round of applause for our Okay, so now it's my part. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to get through it. Alright, so thank you all for coming out today on the 3rd day of our rebuilding the movement against police brutality and against the grifters. Alright, so when we talk about the system that upholds police brutality, we're talking about the system that excuses police murder. We're talking about the system that tells grieving families that they're only allowed to speak to city officials for 2 minutes during public comment. This system that says families must wait to learn how their loved one was killed after taking weeks, months, and years to reveal body camera footage or a coroner's report. This system that says police murder is justifiable when someone is running for their life. The system that says police murder is justifiable because some killer pig wanted to go home at the end of a shift. This system that says we can't jail killer cops, but here's a pinky promise that we'll try being better and doing better next time to not kill someone. So this creates the illusion that police reform and change laws won't kill the next person. But the one thing that we have to to know and accept is that the whole damn system is guilty as hell. So I found it important to say today that for people who were present during the panel discussion yesterday on What About a Lawsuit, you could basically visibly see the tension between Mel, the public defender, and I. And that was because even before this panel discussion started, I have been struggling with her over the conference's political line. So through that political struggle, I came to the understanding that, she was taking the perspective of science and using data and research as a tool for exposure. So I decided that there was some unity there, where her expertise could contribute to the movement to stop police brutality. So she was invited to speak on the topic with guided questions that were agreed upon in advance through two separate discussions. But what she chose to do instead was put forward her own political line that having to work within the system is the only way to get justice. So to have to work within a system that is not interested and does not care about jailing killer cops and getting justice for the people that they've killed, to accept less than jailing these killer cops would be accepting defeat. So justifying the why as to why we need to work within the system is actually defending this system.
That's right.
And it would have been dishonest of me to not shut that bullshit down. Well, in a room full of grieving mothers whose sons and daughters were killed by the police. So when the stakes of human life are so fucking high under this American nightmare, we must never accept defeat. This is what my friend and comrade Kim taught me, to never accept defeat. So what are we supposed to do? What does it mean to rebuild the movement against police brutality and the grifters? So the answer that I have to that question is to be absolutely fucking relentless. Let us be relentless against our enemies. Let us be relentless against killer cops. Let us be relentless against the politicians who protect them. Let us be relentless against those who wish to silence us. Let us be relentless against the system that upholds police brutality, white supremacy, patriarchy, imperialism. Let us be relentless against all that which does not let us breathe. And let us be relentless in how we love and care for each other. Because let me tell you, so after the first half of the day yesterday, your girl was tired. So when someone came up to me talking about Chicago's bullshit consent decree, I was not feeling very relentless. But I was not alone. I was with a comrade, and he stepped in and was then able to be relentless. Because we are not alone. We have each other, because all we have is each other. So if you are serious about this fight, and like what we've been putting down at this conference, get organized with Dare to Struggle and families demanding justice. So let us join together and be relentless about getting these wins. So my second ask for you all here today is to believe in revolution. So this road, this path to getting killer cops jailed, this path that leads to revolution. Because more than just seeking justice, to put an end to police brutality, it's going to take revolution. Because police brutality is baked into the system. It's woven into the fabric, and you cannot pull it apart without taking the whole system down. So you cannot reform a system whose whole goal and purpose is to subordinate the masses of people. The police do not and have never served the people. They serve the ruling class. Police brutality exists as a weapon to oppress us. Where Latinos, Mexicanos, Black, Indigenous, and poor people are at the bottom of society, we have to overthrow the people at the top. And to do that, we must be united on October 22nd. October 22nd is the National Day of Protest Against Police Brutality. And Families Demanding Justice has taken up O22 and held 22 protests last year from coast to coast. And this year, this October 22nd, let's triple, quadruple that number. So let us take your loved one's stories and talk to your networks. Talk to high schoolers, talk to churches, talk to college students, have speak-outs in the streets, talk to people, get on radios, get on newspapers, and make this an O22 that scares the shit out of the ruling class. That's everyone in this room who came from all across the country. Let us bring this fight to wherever you are. So join Families Demanding Justice. Become a member. We saw so much power, so much love, and so much fire at this conference. So let's not end that here. So join our next public meeting on Monday, May 11th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to join us in taking up this fight nationally and being a support for families across the country. So I wanted to close out this portion of my speech with the chant, "Killer cops, there's only one solution. Fuck the pigs, we need a revolution." So killer cops, there's only one solution. Fuck the pigs, we need a revolution. That's right, thank you everyone.
Give it up one more time for ourselves. I can't stress enough. I mean, when we're saying rebuild this movement, we've talked a lot about the problems in the movement, right? And I think in the interest of time, we didn't get to a lot of solutions to it, right? Well, how do we do this? You know, and we don't have all the answers, but we think that rebuilding this day of October 22nd, putting this in the minds of the masses of people, letting them know that every O22 families and supporters are going to be out in these motherfucking streets, taking it to these fucking pigs, lets people know that there are serious people in this fight. Because we know that there's unserious motherfuckers in this fight, who we call the grifters, and have to be out. But we have to take that back. So it's up to us to make this possible. And we need to be organized, and we need to do it together. So this is one solution to this problem, is being a part of this movement. I hope everyone here makes that commitment. I'd like to introduce our final speaker here. Miss Mama Love, Shernaleria Eccles. So Shernaleria is the mother of Antonio Cassim Armstrong, a 23-year-old man killed by NYPD inside his apartment in Harlem in 2021. Shernaleria has been a fighter in the struggle against police brutality ever since, fighting for justice for her son and raising up and supporting other families who have had loved ones killed by police. As a leader in FDJ, Shernaleria organizes monthly protests for Antonio on the 6th, exposing the lies and cover-up by the NYPD, and has been actively involved in building the October 22nd National Day of Protest against police brutality. So give a warm round of applause to give it up one more time.
You got this, Mama?
Yes, Mom. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So I want to take this time to say thank you for everyone coming out to our first Families Demanding Justice Conference. And organizing this event to make sure that it will happen and it can be possible. So I'm going to reintroduce myself, who I am, and who Antonio was. I'm Shernaleria Eccles, Mama Love, who Mama Love came from Antonio. Antonio made sure that everyone knew who Mama Love was, and that the respect needed to be there. And my daughter was his baby girl before he had his own child. So I'm originally from New York, but at the time of Antonio's death, I was living in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Not knowing that that morning was going to be the last time I didn't think that Wednesday morning was the end of my child's life. Normally, I get a sign of something's happening or something's not right. That morning, I didn't. I was so focused on fighting for my daughter at her school, letting them know what they could no longer do to my child and her mind. But there was no feelings, there was no heart pain, heartache, or nerves to know something is going wrong or something happened. Speaking to Antonio at midnight, him in his happy, joyful mode of wondering what I'm doing at midnight. On that day, I was working. So, I expressed to him, I work this time. What do you mean what I'm doing? So it was more of, okay, mommy, I love you. So that's how it ended. And on Wednesday morning, on the way to work, seeing a voicemail from an unknown number that I didn't know was. So the voicemail stated, probably at 10:30. That's when I sent the message, stating they were trying to negotiate with my son. So now I'm lost, because before that, I could say my best friend, she was like a sister to me. Antonia and her son grew up together. And she's saying that someone called her while she was in North Carolina, saying that Antonio shot his girlfriend. So I was like, what? I just spoke to them. They were fine. So then I hang up and she calls me back while I was on a virtual call with my daughter's school. And I couldn't answer because we were trying to make sure that she was well taken care of while she was at school. So I ended up ending the meeting early. I was like, I have a call and I don't know what's going on. I have to take it. So taking the call, so she's saying, no, it wasn't Antonio. Antonio's the one that shot. They heard a lot of gunfire and bullets. So now I'm freaking out. At work, like I don't know what to do. I can't concentrate. I can't clean this patient. I couldn't do anything for this patient. So I ended up calling my supervisor and saying that I have to leave now. Something happened. I just heard my son was killed, and I need to go get my daughter. Which was wonderful. My jobs that I constantly work between home care and a nanny. I guess because of my heart and what I do at my work, I was always appreciative and appreciated. So she came actually herself, picked me up and took me to my daughter's school. Breaking the news to her was heartbreaking. It was hard because I didn't know what to say or how to say it. So I just told him he's gone. She's thinking I was saying that he went down south or something. Or, yeah, that he got locked up. So, hearing that, actually, that I finally called the detective back, and he's saying when I reach New York to just come to the precinct. So I was like, okay. Because he didn't know the real story, someone else was in charge of it. So to find out when I got there, I was getting the runaround. They didn't know who the detective was and who left me the message. We arrived in New York that Wednesday evening where his friends and some that he called family were doing visuals. Antonio was known in Harlem. So there was more than one visual for him. So we released balloons in honor of him and his love for the neighborhood. So I'm gonna really get into what happened. So Antonio was brutally and executed. So not that they only killed him, they went there with the intentions to kill him by telling him that he was gonna die that day. And then telling the neighbors on that floor, which was the 5th floor, that anyone else that came out, the same thing was gonna happen to them, which made me believe that they intentionally killed my child. Not only that, in that apartment we found a map or blueprint of where he would be and how many windows and rooms was in that apartment. We were not allowed to go into that apartment until 2 days later, which we found bullet holes all over the apartment. When I say bullet holes, all different type of bullets. In the bedroom where he was full of blood everywhere. So what were you guys doing those 2 days that you were cleaning out the apartment? You want to know what they were doing? They were cleaning up their evidence, is what they were doing. Which only made me believe they were covering up what they did. Finding out that they had SWAT team there, dogs there, drones there. Like, what is all this for? You want to know what the media was saying? That it was a standoff between Antonio and the officers. With this being said, prior to Antonio's death, they had evacuated buildings at 6 a.m. that morning. So if you didn't attempt to kill my child, why are you evacuating these buildings? The building Antonio was in the middle. So he was on 147, so 146 and 148 were the blocks that they evacuated before children had to go to school. So it was a bloodbath. It was a terrible experience for me, not knowing, one, where my child was, because he wasn't at any hospital.
Oh, wow.
And then finding out they didn't take my son's body out of that apartment until 2 p.m. that afternoon, when he was killed that morning. So that alone just said they treated my child like he was an animal. Why did I start this fight? This fight for Antonio was a need. Not only was I fighting for him, but I was fighting to get answers on what happened to him, because I wasn't getting them from those pigs. I started this fight doing protests, doing marches. That's how it started. Speak Out wasn't even a question or a way to go in the beginning. I just know I needed answers for my baby. So every 6th of the month, which I was told I was doing too much, and the lifestyle he was living, it was bound to happen, all this stuff I was being told, but I had that mama bear in me, that I was gonna fight for my child, because no one thought to mess with my child or children without me doing something about it. It was very emotional in the beginning, fighting for Antonio, because I'm not a speaker before his death. I'm saying that, but people said I was always a good speaker, because before his death, I created a youth class, I guess that's what it's called, for the youth, because there was nothing for youth to be involved in, learning about Jesus and how he became here. Right? So being able to speak and teach these, youth on the right way to go was a blessing for me. So after his death, I became this mama bear where I don't care. Everybody's gonna know who my child was. Everybody's gonna know what happened to him. And his story is going to live as well as his name.
Yes, ma'am.
So not only did I do events and protests for him, I gave back to the community in honor of Antonio. Antonio Casim Armstrong. And I had to let everyone know that his name is not Antonio Armstrong. There's millions of Antonio Armstrongs. Antonio had a middle name. His name is Antonio Casim Armstrong, and he was born on September 19, 1998, and his death was October 6, 2021. So every 6th of the month, instead of every year, my baby is going to be honored, his story is going to be heard, and everyone is going to come and join me in this fight. That was my mindset. So, here's the good part. How did I become a member and leader of Families Demanding Justice? So I'm going to start by saying that I had a lot of people coming to stand with me, people helping me organize these events, but never to hold my hand, guide me, and support me in a way where every 6th of the month, it was okay to be fighting. I started out with Stolen Lives Project, which is, I think, in New York, or started in New York. So with them, even doing these events on my own, either one or two of them was always there. Even if they all couldn't be there, one or two was there to support me. I think in 2024, DTS of the New York chapter organized Families Demanding Justice. O22, which is National Day of Protest Against Police Brutality. We went there with other families and was able to speak. Not only that, we were welcomed with loving, open arms. Learning that families was first sold me. Just how warm they were. They were very warm, supportive, checking in every time, and even before presenting and telling Antonio's story. Was why I was sold to join them. And once I joined them, I knew that I was no longer by myself in this fight. Because yes, you can come and be there for support, but to actually guide me and make sure nothing happens to me while I'm speaking or while I'm fighting. Because that's what we need. We need people that's gonna guide us, guard us, and make sure no harm comes to us.
That's right, that's right.
DTS, I love you guys, because without you, I don't know where I would be today, and I know I would be fighting by myself.
We love you. You're not alone anymore. We love you.
So gaining a new family, not only with DTS, but with other loved ones that this happened to. Because we didn't ask to be in this situation, but with Families Demanding Justice and Dare to Struggle, we are family. And we're no longer alone. We're no longer alone no matter where we live. Is why we developed rapid response. Rapid response is Sorry, you guys, I just lost my train of thought. Woo. Families demanding justice. Really short pieces. See, drinking water. I remember what I was going to say. Rapid response is where we reach out to families that were involved with police brutality, law enforcement, especially in the jails, because they don't have no one. Some of them don't even have any visitors. So when something happened like that, no one knows about it.
Right.
So with rapid response, we're able to search for families of their loved ones of these loved ones that were killed by law enforcement. Rapid response is not only getting in contact with families that their loved ones was killed, but it is also for support, to lend a hand, and to guide them with the steps of what we need to do to continue to get justice for our loved ones.
Right.
What does FDJ do? Which I kind of explained a little bit. We have rapid response. We have regular consistent meetings, as Araceli already expressed. FDJ is not really for the organizers, it's for the families. Families should be in the front of this fight.
That's right.
Families are the one who can tell their child's story better than they can. So being at the front and center of what's happening, what to say, what to do, what we want to do is from us. Because we should be the one leading and controlling what we do for our families.
Right. That's right. Right.
So being invited to that space meant a lot to me, because I didn't have to worry about these so-called organizations that say they're there for you, but they're speaking for you. We don't want nobody speaking for us. Why? Because they don't know as much as we do. And I'm not only talking about what happened to them, who they were as a person. Because the media will paint your loved one as a criminal or a monster that deserved to die. That wasn't our loved ones. Regardless of what our loved ones was doing currently or in their past, does not define who they are. So these officers, law enforcement, which I call pigs, do not deserve to play God with our children and loved ones' lives. So, with that being said, you should join FDJ. You should join O22. O22, as I said before, is the National Day of Protest against police brutality. And it's just not in one city, it's in all the cities that we live and more.
Right.
We need a revolution. A mass movement. We need a community. We need the community to open their eyes, wake up, because it could be them.
That's right.
Or their family member happening at their doorstep. So us having a mass movement is gonna wake the community up. Because them turning their noses up when they get a flyer or being talked to about what's happening in our cities. No, because it will be you or your loved one next. So to avoid that, start now when you're learning about what these pigs are doing in our cities, the lives that are taking, children, mothers, fathers, cousins, nephews, nieces. They don't care what sex you are. Latinos and Black, as well as these poor, low-class people. They don't care. They feel that that badge and that gun and that baton and that whatever it is, laser or whatever that thing is power. And to me, a lot of these officers that are joining the force have been bullied and gonna use that space, that CO correction facility, as well as policing. Even ICE. We already see what ICE is doing. They don't care. They are beating our loved ones to the pole, stomping on them, shooting them, and not caring. Like they gun happy, fist happy, foot happy.
Way too much. I promise.
They don't care. So we gotta make sure they're gonna care. They need to be held accountable for what they're doing to our loved ones. I'm gonna tell you a little history about 022. 022, I think started through the Stolen Life Project, but I'm not sure. But it was to make sure these police officers be held accountable, be the face that we see in the community to make sure people know what these officers are doing.
That's right, that's right.
We need to make sure that they can't sleep.
That's right.
They need to be harassed the way they harassed our loved ones before taking their lives.
That's right.
It's painful. It's painful, but necessarily. Thank you, Charlotta. Necessary to fight and continue reliving and telling our loved ones' stories. Why? Because if we don't tell it, our loved one's story will never, ever, ever be told or heard. So 022, get involved. Everybody, get involved, share what 022 is about. So, we need not only to jail these cops, we need to make sure they're held accountable.
That part.
And part of that is through the politicians. We are voting for politicians to go in doing what they said they wanted to do before we voted for them. Is that happening? No. Voting for politicians, going to council meetings. Yes, we're going to throw it in their face and let the community know. But half the time they don't care. They don't care. All these mayors and governors are simply women and men is not doing the Attorney General. They're not doing their jobs. They're just there to listen to whatever the pigs say.
That's right.
And then they go with it. But we need to get out there and fight. We need to be on our feet, be on our P's and Q's, dot those I's, cross those T's. So I want you guys to know that every single one of you are family. We will welcome you with open arms. If you're not a member or even check in with Families Demanding Justice, as well as 022, reach out to one of the Families Demanding Justice organizers and get those rapid response numbers. We have one on the East Coast and we have one on the Pacific West Coast. So get involved. Find out what's going on with these meetings, with what we're doing. Families Demanding Justice, from the help of me and Araceli, we started a grief circle for families. This circle will have different topics, so we don't just stay on the one topic unless there's a need be. It's once a month, families joining together, venting, sharing your loved one's story. If you needed the support of anything, flyers, whatever you need, protest, support, someone to just be there. Someone's gonna travel to be there with you, no matter what. It may not be everybody, but someone from Families Demanding Justice or even DTS will be there to support you in every way possible. So this is a group to not only grieve, but talk about how you're feeling, vent, become together as one, be able to be comfortable to speak how you feel and talk about your loved one. Because I'm gonna be honest, in the beginning, I didn't want to tell nobody. Because I was angry. And I already knew if I was angry, everybody's gonna get the whatever it's called. They was gonna get it. And I'm sure because you guys lost loved ones, especially a child. Listen, a child, that's a piece of your heart taken. Okay, so with 022, with Families Demanding Justice, we want to get the community involved, especially during 022. I'm wrapping it up, give me a second. This is very important because we need not only any other loved ones that are involved in police brutality or law enforcement, we also need the community to get involved. So that means although it's heartbreaking, although it's painful, and as well as emotionally stressful, this needs to be consistent. Not just on the 6th of the month, not just on your child's birthday, not on your own anniversary of your child or loved one. It needs to be consistent. We need to be foot on the ground, handing out flyers on what we are about. So, this is the good part. Are you ready? Ready! So before I end this and do my closing, I am going to read the mission statement that means really important what we should do. Which is in everything we do, we rely on the masses of people, not politicians or the proper channels. This is important because we all know going to politicians, going to the, precincts or wherever, and the places where our child was killed and fighting, don't always work. So we need to take our own way, take our own outpour. I'm just gonna say outpour, why? Because we all need to be out there. And we need to fight for our loved ones. We need to let the people in the community know that we're not taking no for an answer. We're gonna fight, fight, fight. So are you guys ready? Yeah. Join FDJ. So I know I missed over some things that I was going to talk about, but this is part of families coming together. Join 022. Join Dare to Struggle, Families Demanding Justice. With that being said, you will be involved with everything that's going on. Download that Signal app so we can all be in this together. Showing the emotional support for families, we can come to you. Come to your home, spend time with you to let you know we care. We're always thinking about you. We love you. I would like, I'm apologizing for if I don't know your loved one and left your loved one out. So I want to say, justice for Antonio Kasim Armstrong. Justice for Antonio Kasim Armstrong. Justice for Alejandro Campos Rios. Justice for Muhammad Asafan. Justice for Timothy Glaze. Justice for Ashley, excuse me. Justice for Jalen McKenzie. Justice for Xavier Hill. Justice for Jaden Cole. And I mentioned that name because nobody knows about Jaden Cole. Jaden Cole was killed in his home during a mental health outbreak by police that they knew, who were neighbors with them, saw him grow up. Okay, I hear you. I see you, okay? I see you. I'm sorry, this is very important. We need to join, and I'm trying to convince you guys, come on over. Join DTS, wherever you live. If there's not one, maybe DTS can start a chapter over there. Because guess what? I moved to Pittsburgh, and guess what? Even though I'm nervous as hell, it needs a chapter there. We need to have a chapter wherever we live, not only where we live, where we see and know that killings are happening, where it's most popular. Not even most popular, sometimes it's behind the scenes and we don't know. So checking out and researching, what's it called? Detention centers, prisons, we need to do it. In all of our cities that we're living, not just one city. Just keep it going and get these people out to fight. So even if you have to go in front of these prisons and fight for the list that you see, that the killings are happening, because these COs don't care. And I'm a living example of that, because Antonio was brutally damaged in these prisons when he was there. So I'm a living mother of knowing what they do in these prisons. So, thank you for listening to me.